Page 83, Erie Canal. It's another ensemble piece. And this is another way that ensemble music can be written out. So we had ensemble before where each piece part was completely written separately on different parts, where if people had their own music, they would get a page of music and all they would see is their part. However, a lot of times in piano, when you have an ensemble with piano and other instruments or whatever playing, the piano part usually includes everything. This is everything. This is a score, or this is a score for the ensemble. So you can see all the parts, and you're reading across. You see the line at the beginning goes all the way down, all 5 staves. So you're going through all 5 staves at the same time. But there's only one grand staff in the middle of that, and that's the 2 staves with a curly brace. That's the grand staff. That's the piano part. These other parts could be played with other instruments that can play those notes. C instruments. Otherwise, if like a clarinet or a saxophone, you'd have to transpose it to their keys, because they're not C instruments. They're not concert keyed instruments. But oboes and flutes, string instruments, cellos, basses, so forth, they can play these parts, the other parts, and the piano just does the grand staff part. So let's look and see what we're going on here, because they're not giving you all the notes. I look it over, I see it's 2 lines long total, because the whole thing, when you're playing all these lines at the same time, that's 1 line. So this is 2 lines long total. And I'm going to start with the first line here, because the key signatures don't all have to be the same. If it's for different instruments, it won't be. The clef signs don't all have to be the same. The time signatures should be the same, because you got to stay together. So it's in 1 flat. We're in the key here. I'll just tell you we're in the key of D minor to save some time. It could be F major or D minor. We're studying minor keys as minor. Okay. So all the B's are flatted. However, I think you're just in this first line. You're staying here, and there's no B flat here, so you can play white notes. And we're coming in on beat 4. It's a common time, a 4/4 time. 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 5. See the repeat signs, you just keep going over. Not keep going, you repeat it once and then quit, usually. Then the second line is for some instrument. It's just where they say 8VA throughout. So the notes are here, but you can play them up here, and it's just broken chords. 1, 2, yeah. And you think, wait a minute, where am I going? What's going on here? Well, they put the name of the chord above the staff. So you're just kind of following that. So in that first full measure, it's a D minor chord. Well, that's where we are. It's a D minor chord. In the second full measure, you have a G minor chord. We're coming up here. And then an A major chord. You see the A doesn't have an M behind it. Remember, if it's a letter by itself, it's implied major. So you don't have to say capital M or nothing. If it's just the A, it's major. So it's a major, which is here. A major is 3 sharps. And then back to D minor. And then measure 5. At first you're D minor for 1 beat, and then A major and D minor. Yuck. I don't want to go that. I'd go down. I don't want to move around. So I got to figure out how can I do these 2 notes, these 2 chords without moving. And the idea is here, if I put the A on top, I'm close. That's it. So there on measure 5, I don't have time to do the pattern. I can do here and then here. And actually for the last 2 beats, I do have time here. Not going to, but I could. So it's now in measure 5, they give you the notes, they've written them out for you. So you can just go here. You're just playing the root of each note. You could go ahead and do the chords. I could do here and here, because this is an A chord. If I put the A on top, it's here, and I'm not moving around. But this is fine. And then 1 rest, beat rest, and we're in D minor again. And then G minor, Here, the A major and the D minor, and then at the end they give you the notes again. So I'm figuring out what the pattern is in the notes for the empty ones, and I'm going to write them in. I'm not going to write them in, but you can write them in. I'm too lazy. Then we do the piano part. Well, the piano part, actually, you don't have to go down the score if you don't want to. A lot of times you'll do the melody and the bass, get those working first, and then you'll fill in the other stuff. But I'm just going down the score. Here, the piano part is, again, this pattern. I'm using two hands for the chord. See, all of these notes are in the chord. The F is here, I'm here, and I'm duplicating the D. You can do that. You can play a note more than once in a chord. It's okay. Here, so it's just, and I'm moving one hand at a time here too. Here. So in the fourth measure with D minor, and then measure 5, they give you the notes here. But you could have done that. Could have done that too, whatever. And then back to measure 6, what you were doing in the first full measure. In measure 7, you can just do the notes. Here, if you want, you can just do the notes. Here. Here, for the G minor A, just do the root chords. So on measure 5, it's here. Then the pattern. And here I could do here. Or some pattern. Doesn't matter, you make it up. I don't know. Whatever. And then D minor. And they give you notes at the end if you want to use them. So I'm trying to fill in the same pattern or similar to it with the chords in these empty measures. And then for the bass, that's down here. We're playing the root or the bottom note of the chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D minor. And here. Get the idea? For the bottom note. So fill those in. Then to give the music to different people and say, play this masterpiece. So you play it and you have fun with it. Experiment. There's other patterns you can use too, but that's what they're showing here, so it's close enough for me. Let me know if you have questions.